I'm telling you, if you could take a little bit of time on your weekend to prep a 6 to start, this can be a complete game changer for a busy week, especially if you're someone who's trying to build healthier eating habits. Hello, my friends, it's Danny, and today I'm bringing back a clean and delicious classic, and I'm sharing a brand new 6 to start. 6 to start is my easy, doable, family-friendly approach to meal prep where I choose 6 ingredients / recipes to prep on the weekend to have as head start ingredients for a busy week. This makes healthy eating very easy and very delicious throughout the week. And if you're somebody who is working on building healthier eating habits, this is a fantastic tool to practice. So to keep the meals balanced, I use a very simple structure, or you could call it a blueprint. I choose 2 veggie options, 2 proteins, 1 type of fun flavor booster, and then either a smart start or a sweet treat. So for example, this week I'm gonna prep some simply steamed green beans, some roasted vegetables, then I have turkey taco meat and baked blackened salmon. Then for my fun flavor booster, I'm doing a homemade tzatziki. And this week I'm going with a sweet treat and showing you how to make my pumpkin chip energy balls. So much deliciousness, I cannot wait to share. But first, I want to take a moment to thank LMNT for sponsoring this video. LMNT is a delicious electrolyte company who is specifically designed for people who like to live an active lifestyle and like to take a less processed, more whole food approach to healthy eating, like myself. A lot of people don't realize it, but symptoms like headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, and sleeplessness can all be signs of an electrolyte deficiency. And LMNT's science-based balance of sodium, magnesium, and potassium can help you to balance out the electrolytes in your body. Personally, I just love the way I feel after I drink LMNT, specifically after a really good workout. And I love that it contains no artificial flavors, no artificial coloring, no sugars, no gluten, and no fillers. All of the flavors are absolutely delicious. They have watermelon, raspberry, mango chili, grapefruit, citrus, chocolate, and even unflavored. And the great news is that you can try all of their flavors for free with any purchase, because LMNT is offering everybody in the Clean and Delicious community 8 single serving packets for free. All of the flavors I just mentioned with any purchase. All you have to do is visit drinklmnt.com/Danny Spies. And you can only take advantage of this with my link. So again, that's www.drinklmnt.com/Danny Spies. And I will of course leave that link for you down in the description box as well. Now, when I'm prepping a 6 to start, I usually have multiple components going at the same time because this is going to be a huge time saver. So starting with the veggies today, the first thing I'm going to do is preheat my oven to 420 degrees Fahrenheit. And I also have a large pot of water, a little bit of water at the bottom of the pot coming up to a boil. That is going to be the setup for my steamer basket. When it comes to veggies, especially this time of year, I love to make roasted vegetables. First of all, they're super easy and delicious and comforting, but they're also very versatile. So you can use whatever you have on hand or whatever you love. So what I'm doing today is I have 3 cups of broccoli florets, 3 cups of cauliflower florets. Then I have 1 bunch of radishes that I've cut in half. If they're really big, I might cut them into quarters. Keep in mind, potatoes would also work really well here. Then I have 4 carrots that I've peeled and cut into bite-sized chunks, and then 1 red onion that I have also cut into bite-sized chunks. I'm gonna get all of those veggies into a nice big bowl, and then we're gonna just simply season this with a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and then I have some sea salt, some garlic powder, and a little bit of black pepper. I promise you, when you are trying to keep things simple, salt, pepper, and garlic powder will never let you down. Gently toss this all together, and then I'm gonna evenly distribute them amongst 2 rimmed baking sheets. Whenever you're roasting veggies, you don't wanna overcrowd the pan because then they're gonna end up steaming and you're not gonna get the depth of flavor that roasting brings to the table, okay? So these are gonna go right into my oven and I'm gonna let them cook for about 15 minutes. flip them and let them go for another 15 minutes. While that's happening, we're gonna make the green beans. Now, as for the green beans, you can of course buy them in bulk and trim them yourself, but we're just in this chapter of life right now where life is very busy, so I'm always looking for convenience and for shortcuts. So I love buying a big bag of green beans that are already washed and already trimmed. I just cut the bag open and I'm gonna pour this right into my steamer basket. If you've never worked with a steamer basket before, you just need to have a few inches of water boiling at the bottom of your pot. Then you pop in the steamer basket, pop in your veggies, place on the lid. Now, I just let these cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. Because we're gonna be using them throughout the week, I really want them to maintain their integrity. I want them to have a nice al dente bite to them so they're not overcooked. And you kind of know they're ready once they turn this beautiful, bright, vibrant green. So once we've arrived, I just take them out of the pot. I put them right into an airtight container. This is the container that I'm gonna store them in, and I let them cool completely on the counter. You don't wanna pop the lid on while they're still hot, because then they're gonna just keep on cooking. So I just put them right in the container and let them sit on the counter while they cool. I'm gonna do the same thing for my roasted vegetables. Once they're done, you're gonna see that they have this golden brown color on the outside. They're gonna be nice and creamy and tender in the center. I'm just gonna gently transfer these into a large airtight container and let this cool on the counter as well. And then once they've both come down to room temperature, I just pop on the lids. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna prep my proteins. And I have to tell you, I have learned the best trick for making frozen salmon straight from the freezer. So I've got my oven preheating to 425, it's already hot. And I'm just gonna line a rimmed baking sheet with some parchment paper. Then I buy a big bag of these wild caught frozen salmon fillets. They're actually individually wrapped. So I'm just gonna open up each package and then lay each fillet right onto the prepared baking sheet. This particular bag comes with 8 servings of salmon. Now, keep in mind, this salmon is frozen through. It came straight from the freezer. So from here, I just cover it with some foil and then I pop it into the oven and I let it cook for 15 minutes. Really what's happening at this point is that salmon is defrosting, but it's also maintaining the moisture so they're not going to dry out. Once that 15 minutes has passed, I remove the foil, and you might notice when you take the salmon out, there is this white substance that is around or on top of the salmon. It's nothing to worry about. It's actually a protein that's naturally present in salmon, and it solidifies when you cook salmon specifically at high temperatures. It just comes out of the salmon. Now, it's perfectly safe to eat. You don't have to remove it. I will often remove it before I store the salmon. So I'll show you that in a minute, okay? But from here, I've removed the foil, and now I'm gonna season the salmon because the first round was really more to defrost the salmon while maintaining the moisture. Now what I'm gonna do is sprinkle some blackening seasoning over the top. Again, you could do any seasoning blend that you love here. I just love the flavor of blackened seasoning, and so does my husband, so that's become one of our go-to options lately. You can also do a little salt, a little black pepper, and then this is going back into the oven for another 12 to 15 minutes or until it's cooked through. This is such an easy way to cook salmon. A lot of times I know you don't want to buy fresh fish because it goes bad quickly and you don't know if you'll get to it, but frozen fish can be a great option, especially because it's flash frozen right after it is caught. So it's the closest next thing you're going to get to fresh fish, and being able to cook it straight from the freezer is such a game changer. Now, the second protein I'm prepping this week is taco turkey meat, and you can absolutely do this while you're cooking your salmon as well, right? So again, the more components that you have going at the same time, the less time this whole preparation is going to take. So I've got a nice large nonstick skillet, and I'm just going to toss a pound of lean ground turkey into the pan. Now keep in mind, this could be chicken, this could be ground beef, this could be ground bison. You know, as always, use what you have, use what you love. We're just gonna choose a ground meat and we're gonna break it up in the pan until we have little crumbles and it has browned on the outside, but it's cooked through the center. I'm not doing it myself today, but you could also add a couple of cups of cauliflower rice right to this mixture. It's a great way to add some volume, to sneak in some veggies, to get some more fiber. And I'm telling you, once you season this up, nobody's gonna even taste it. I actually shared this technique when we did a video on 3 ways to use cauliflower rice, which I will of course link for you as well. So now once the meat is where I want it to be, we're gonna season it. I just like to buy a packet of taco seasoning. I'm a big fan of the Siete brand. You could also make your taco seasoning from scratch. I have a recipe for that as well. I will link it. I'm just gonna sprinkle this into the pan and then add about 1/3 of a cup of water as well. Toss it together really well, let it cook for a couple extra minutes, and this is ready to go. So just like my veggies, I get my proteins into airtight containers. I let them cool completely before I pop on the lid. So we've got our veggies prepped, we've got our proteins prepped. Now for the fun flavor booster this week, I'm doing homemade tzatziki. I couldn't resist doing tzatziki because I love the combination of salmon and tzatziki. Plus, tzatziki also makes a great dip. You can serve it with vegetables, you can serve it with pita chips, put it on a sandwich, put it on a wrap. It's very versatile and it's an easy way to boost the flavor of a very simple meal. So I start by grating half of an English cucumber on the large holes of a box grater. Then I'll place that cucumber in the center of a clean dish towel and gently squeeze out any of the extra liquid. Pop that cucumber into a medium bowl and I'll add in 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt, a clove of crushed garlic, a tablespoon of fresh chopped dill, a tablespoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice, and then a little bit of lemon zest as well. Mix that all together and you've got yourself a great way to boost the flavor in all of your meals all week long. And keep in mind, this recipe could easily be doubled. Last but not least, I love to prep some type of smart start or sweet treat. And this week I'm going with the sweet treat and I'm showing you how to make my pumpkin chip energy balls because fall is in the air and I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people who definitely gets pumpkin obsessed. Plus, these are so easy. They're no bake and everything just happens in one bowl. So I'm gonna combine 1.5 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats, a 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree, a 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1/3 cup maple syrup. Then I have some cinnamon and some pumpkin pie spice along with a pinch of sea salt. I'm gonna finish it with 2 tablespoons each ground flax seeds, chia seeds, and hemp seeds, and then of course, 1/3 cup of mini chocolate chips. You could also use a regular sized chocolate chip, but the mini works really well because it mixes into the batter really well and it just makes it easier when you're rolling these into balls. Now you'll see when everything comes together, the batter is going to be a little bit like sticky, but when you squeeze it between your fingers, it should stick together like mine does here. Now when I'm rolling these, I do like to keep a bowl of water on the side because if you keep your hands just lightly damp, it's a lot easier to roll these into balls without them getting super stuck to your hands. So that's just a little hack to keep in your back pocket. Once I've got them all rolled, I have them on this rimmed baking sheet. You can either pop these in your fridge for several hours or in the freezer for about 1 hour. And then once they've really set up, I just transfer them into an airtight container. And again, you can keep them in the fridge for up to a week or in the freezer for months. This is a great way to satisfy a sweet tooth throughout the week without having to lean on highly processed store-bought options. I'm telling you, if you could take a little bit of time on your weekend to prep a 6 to start, this can be a complete game changer for a busy week, especially if you're someone who's trying to build healthier eating habits. What I love about approaching meal prep this way is that it becomes very versatile and very flexible throughout the week. You can do so many different things with the options that I've showed you here today. One of my favorite things to do is just build simple bowls. So a couple go-tos is I will take some of those steamed green beans, I'll layer on a piece of salmon, I'll add some fresh chopped tomatoes, along with a big dollop of tzatziki over the top, and you have this beautiful, delicious, semi-gourmet meal ready to go in just minutes. Plus, the salmon is also great on a sandwich or just layered on top of a salad. It doesn't need to be fancy to be absolutely delicious. As for the ground turkey taco, you could use this to make simple tacos. You can make a taco bowl, or again, you can just create like a buildable. So something I like to do is I'll take some rice. I always have jasmine or brown rice in the freezer. I'll add some of those roasted vegetables, scoop on some of that turkey taco meat, along with some sliced avocado, maybe some chopped up onions. And again, you have this beautiful meal that comes together in minutes, and your weekday self will be so grateful to your weekend self for having prepped this ahead of time. And as we're rolling into these cooler autumn days, if you have that sweet tooth, the energy balls right alongside your favorite cup of coffee or a collagen coffee is sometimes just what you need. Whether it's a quick sub for breakfast breakfast when you don't have a lot of time, or if you really want like a morning sweet treat or an afternoon sweet treat, it's a great option to have on hand. So I'm excited for you to give this a try so you can see just how helpful this can be to anybody who is trying to build healthier eating habits. And if you have any thoughts or questions or inspiration that you want to share with me, come on down to the comments below and please do just that. I'd like to thank LMNT once again for sponsoring this video. If you want to give them a try, remember they're offering everybody in the Clean and Delicious community a free 8 single serving package with any purchase. All you have to do is use my link, which is www.drinkelement.com/Danny Spies. And I'm going to leave that for you down in the description box below. I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. And as always, I thank you for watching. Cheers.